taking a look here, and we've got, I think we're watching from Exo's point of view here. So this is match 1, best of 3. Yeah, we're watching from Exo's side. So Classics, Icles, and Neko rolling downstairs here. Classic 1-1-3. Interesting to see Lucario again up top. They did nerf it a little bit, but a lot of teams sticking with it because it is just such a strong character here. Going to contest that Audino. As you can see, they're not using that Winter Wonderland type theme here in these friendly games. And that Audino easily goes over to the side of Teqsun. We have some very similar lanes here. The Jigglypuff and the Squirtle going to be the opposites. In this particular lane, Bulbasaur and Eldegoss going to remain the same, but they're pushing pretty good here, Exotic French is, and they're able to barely get that Audino, get a little bit of experience here, and stay ahead to their laning partners. Now I'm looking across the board, and it looks like the jungler is a little bit faster paced on the right, but it is both Greninjas for both sides and Lucarios, and there you go, Exotic French able to take a quick KO there on the opposing Lucario. Étoile, I believe that's star in French. The Frogadier hiding in the grass, going to watch what's going on as we just pop back and forth. Wigglytuff Classic's going to come in with a Sing, trying to stall down the other team so they can take Bs. Looked pretty good. Looks like they got a good number. And they are out leveling Teqsun in the bottom lane. But there we go. They isolated Zera up top. And now Exo is able to score some points in that top goal zone since they've got the jungler still there. Now Lucario and the jungler for Teqsun still going up top, and the bottom lane is not sliding either way too rapidly yet, but it is moving pretty well. Now top laner and jungler here for Exotic French is a higher level, so if they keep squaring off in the top and Teqsun keeps pushing, they're going to be able to get that advantage and snowball that a little bit. Classics with the Sing gets the team out before anybody gets taken down. Going to work back on the Audinos and just get a little bit of levels up, a little bit of farm up. Classics level 5, Eldegoss level 5. And that last laning partner there is still level 4, but they're working on it. Étoile Star, that's the jungler for Teqsun, going through their mobs here as the Lucario and Greninja seem to square off again. Power up punch by Zero, and Étoile going to come in and flank a little bit. Neverix backing off and going to retreat to their Greninja for a little bit of help. Nickel Toto hiding in the grass as that War Turtle, not interested in really getting anything too crazy here, as the bees are going to be showing up in about 15 seconds, and that's going to be the next little challenging point here in that bottom lane. Nickel Tattoo going to get a little bit ahead there as Marco Brazil throws some pressure on, and Nickel Toto, comes in, and Classics with the sleep gets the Bulbasaur and the War Turtle and able to take quite a bit of damage there as Ivysaur for Exotic French is over leveled and putting the pressure on, but bees are sliding towards Teqsun, but Leaf Tornado is able to cop up some of those for Exotic French, so they're not stalled out too much. Étoile, the Greninja, going to protect that goal zone. As we jump back downstairs as Classics, Nico, and Icles put a little bit of pressure on, and they're going to hide in the grass as Dreadnought is here, and we're going to see the Greninja here for Exotic French is already rolling down, and Lucario and Étoile for Teqsun are going up top, so they're going to have a character advantage here in the bottom lane, and they definitely want to work through Dreadnought. Just don't get it plucked out from under you here. Nickel Toto and Classics putting everybody to sleep. Going to open that window for, there you go, for the jungler to go ahead and take that Dreadnought. Then they have the buffs, they have the experience, and they have the push, and they're working on the last couple members of Teqsun there. That's a Unite move coming in from the Greninja Étoile, but they're going to get gobbled up, and they didn't take anybody down with their Unite move as they're able to close out that goal zone very commandingly. Zero Minionzia working on the top Rotom here, and they're pretty much left alone. They should be able to secure it and send it down the lane. But that's just one Rotom into a barely touched goal zone, and Icles going to play some defense. Even if that thing went in, that's not any worse for wear if you're Exotic French. They are up on the scoreboard by a commanding amount, 132 points. Icles just working through the Rotom with Classics. Here comes Raytao to add a little bit of damage there as the jungler, and Neverix now holding down the bottom lane by themselves. Nickel Toto getting a little bit of levels up by themselves, and Puilane going back to base as the Ivysaur, as they are a little bit underleveled as well. I'm looking across the board here, and there's that bottom lane for Teqsun is all still level 7. Eldegoss War Turtle just now got level 8, and they're just getting bullied pretty badly as everybody on Exotic French is at least 9. So there's a huge level disparity here. I mean, the Lucario for Teqsun is even sitting at 8. So Exotic French here, they just need to play clean, they need to focus on the objectives, and they need to focus on farming and just maintaining that lead. The easiest way to let the other team back in is give, ignorant KOs up right now, give up a Dreadnought, and then kind of let them push their way back into this game, just creep that door open and step back in. We have 27 seconds till Dreadnought here. Neverix already got it eyed down, and there's Classics and Nico. They're hiding in the grass, and they're waiting for an opportunity to pounce, and they're probably going to let Classics make that call. When do we jump in? Who do we jump on? Ikelis chasing down Etoile. Mark Brazil coming in, but Neverix kicks it off with a little bit of dash in there, and Classics gets bubbled out, and that Sing doesn't actually touch anybody, but it forces the Lucario to back. And now Dreadnought's here, and the whole team kind of has to reconvene and rematch up as they're dunking 40 up top, the Lucario is, but I don't think they care as they've got such a big lead on the scoreboard. That's a Unite move by the Wigglytuff, and that's a big Unite move too. That just takes down 4 players on Teqsun. Are you kidding me? Exotic French taking that Dreadnought, taking that team win, and now they are up by 128 points with not that much time on the clock, and holy smokes, that was clean. Ikelis and Classics rolling up top, already meeting to Rotom, and they're going to be able to pressure that too. If they send that down the lane, you've got to think it's going to become very precarious here for Teqsun as Ikelis is working through. Oh, it's just absolutely mowed down. Are you kidding me? Teqsun didn't even want to show up, and I don't blame him either. Teqsun looking real rough shape here. And they need to come up with a strategy on how they're going to balance this game out, or what lessons learned can they take into the rest of the specialist read. That Unite move just shot from right field to left field, touching not a blade of grass of relevance there, as Exo Neverix is just holding down that bottom goal zone. And they're just, getting mobs. Ikelis is already positioned just to jump on anyone that comes over that side here. It hits the launching pad. I mean, they're all just waiting in the grass, and they're just looking to poach KOs, it seems like. Not really pressing anything. There's no farm on the map to take, so what are you going to do? There's no objectives, and they jump right on Etoile. There's the Gossifleur, there's Gossifleur, Edagoss, and they're pushing on Etoile. Ikelis coming Reito with a little bit of support, and there's Mienza. They've been paired together all game long, but they haven't really done too much to boost that advantage, having that Lucario rolling that jungler the whole time. Blastoise and Venusaur, red and blue starters there holding down that bottom goal zone, but nobody's really pressuring on, as all of the farm is really on Teqsun's side of the board. They're at a level disparity and at a point disparity, almost 200 points here, as Neverix is just bullying, just posturing a little bit, and Classics on the retreat there. Classics going to take a spot in that front grass, going to be able to use that Sing to put some of the opposing players to sleep, and it's, we're going to pressure this Dreadnought. Exotic French is pretty much going to look like, can we take a big team win here? Can we take a team win? Can we take a Dreadnought? Ikelis uses Petal Dance to get away, as Etoile, the jungler for Teqsun, was trying to put some pressure on with their Greninja. And Eldegoss is there. Marco Brazil there real early. And Classics tried to get Sing, but really didn't pick up anybody. And oh my God, can you believe it? Their Greninja on Exotic French mowed that thing down before Teqsun even got to sniff it. And now everybody's already posturing there for Zapdos as 242 to 100, 142 point lead. And Classics jumps in with a Sing. They're kicking off this team fight early. They're not going to let it get to Zapdos. Appears, and that's 3 Unite moves that just kicked off. We saw the Lucario Unite move shoot across the map, and Ikelis is chasing down the Lucario. Ikelis is in the mix, and oh my God, the whole team is down. The whole team is down. We were watching Ikelis, and the other 4-on-4 was like, we'll take a 4-pack, 4-for-4 Wendy's. Baby, lock it in, lock it down. Zapdos has been taken. This thing is landslide, and Teqsun needs to hit that plus sign, that minus sign, and go ahead and get out of this one, because there is a lot to landslide here if they're going to try and come back, and they do. A little bit of concession there, and a little bit of concession in a rough game 1 for Teqsun. We're going to take a look and see if they can square this thing up. So again, this is group 3 in the pool play. We've got Teqsun and Exotic French. They're going ahead and taking a look. We see who they jump to. We're going to see if they go to a different match here. As I said, I'm bringing English coverage of a previously streamed French pool play tournament. This is a qualifier here. So I'm kind of watching that develop. But Exotic French was just tactical all game long. I think the biggest kind of tidal wave that pushed down Teqsun's throat was especially in that top lane, when Lucario and the jungling Greninja for Exotic French were able to get 2 KOs very early on Lucario. They kind of got the KO because Exotic French's Greninja was in the mix first. They got that KO. By the time Etoile, the Greninja for Exotic French, got back into the mix, they were too late. They got picked off. And then when Lucario came in, they were just kind of mishmashed coming through into that top lane. And that was just clean and smooth sailing there for that Lucario and Greninja to just 2-on-1, 2-on-1, 2-on-1. And then that just really started to landslide that top lane. So I'm interested to see what Teqsun does. Is it going to be a Pokemon switch? Is it going to be a laning switch? Is it going to be a priority switch? I don't know, but Exotic French quite literally won every axis of that game. And we're going to see what happens here in Game 2. Exotic French looked very commanding in Game 1, and Teqsun has quite a mountain to climb here, and we already see the changes coming through. Cinderace being changed instead of the Greninja. The jungler feeling they can do a little bit better work with the Fire Bunny here, and we're going to see if that is in fact the case. Marco, Nickel, and Poulain coming down and contesting this middle Audino here. They did get a first last time. Let's see if they can get it again. And that just gets blasted backwards by Nickel Toto. One of the true amazing things in early game Squirtle arsenal. Being able to just push mobs with the water gun here, but now they're contesting across the map and trying to keep Classics from getting to level 4. But Nickel Toto has to bounce a little bit, so does Marco Brazil. They're putting the pressure on Poulain. Poulain is on the verge of going down. They need to retreat hard. Fortunately, Marco and Nickel cut off the Bulbasaur to keep that KO from happening. And, well, there you go. Squirtle goes down. They're trying so hard to protect Pauline, the Bulbasaur, that they actually end up biting the dust themselves now. And Nickel Toto has to scramble all the way back. And there's Zero getting buckled again by Rayto and Neverix. They roll up together and they make it work. That Lucario goes down, and where's the Raboot showing up too late and can't get into the mix? Etoile, it cannot pressure this Lucario and this Greninja by themselves, and now all the Bs went the other way too, and that's just another level of disparity here as the Lucario. Zero jumps in, dives in, Raytown, now they're all over Zero. Are they going to get a twofer here? Are they going to be able to double it down? 2 KOs and work on this goal zone. Zero's making it hard for him. Double KO there for Lucario on Lucario after taking down the Raboot. And that's exactly what happened Game 1. Teqsun learning their lessons the hard way here in this pool play against Exotic French. Just being absolutely relentless. Classics is again kind of the leader of this bottom lane with that Sing kind of picking their points and when they commit and when they dive. And of course I say that Classics hanging back in the goal zone as both the Eldegoss and the Ivysaur push a little bit and try and just get cheeky and steal some mobs. Marco Brazil is still a Gossifleur, and that's an easy KO to be opened up as Nickel Toto's a Squirtle too, and this bottom lane is sliding just as hard as the top one is. And now they're putting the pressure onto the goal zone. It's a 3-on-2. Nickel Toto getting bullied, but here comes Etoile. The jungler here going to try and bring a little bit of parity in this bottom lane 3-on-3, and that DPS is really good. Etoile gets the level up to Cinderace off that KO, and now they're putting the pressure on Ikelis. We jump back up to Zero, back down to Marco, as Marco's putting out Nico, and Etoile closes it out on the Ivysaur. And now Teqsun bringing a little bit of balance to this bottom lane. It is costing them the commitment to their jungler here, but Etoile leveling up is level 8. Nico bubbling out a little bit, trying to do the best they can as just an Eldegoss in the face of the Cinderace. But the Bees are here. Etoile kicking in, going to try and get some of that experience. Hey, if I'm here, I might as well get some, right? Classics going right in, getting 3 players down with that sleep. And I think Nickel Toto was still able to close out that Bee, however, as now they're kind of hiding in the grass. Dreadnought is here. 7 minutes on the clock, and we're watching this develop. Cinderace going back into the jungle, and every player on Exotic French is here at Dreadnought. No one's late, everybody's on time, and they're pressuring it hard, and it's taken down. Raytown able to take that with no problem. Etoile and Zero way too late to the mix here, as this push is already happening in the goal zone. You saw that Unite Move shoot across the stream. That's 2 KOs, 3 KOs, and now we're tracking them up, making 4 KOs, and just Nickel Toto, the War Turtle stayed alive because they just bailed and went top lane. They didn't even want a piece of it. And now Exo Neverix just working through the opposing mobs here, getting some of that opposing farm, and Exotic French looking to landslide this thing just as hard as they did one. And look at that, Neko is able to be the first person to Rotom as Exotic French takes Dreadnought. All 5 players were there, and they beat Teqsun to the Rotom as that KO Nickel Toto way too late, way too underleveled, and had real no chance when you're looking now 4 bodies of Exotic French just pushing down the lane. Etoile going to try and make a stand here, going to get bubbled up, just kicking into Bees, getting some Rotom. But you can see all of Exotic French, they don't even care about that Rotom. They're back, they're farming, they're getting their levels up, they're pressing that advantage. There's so many axes you can get an advantage in this game. One is on points, one is on levels, and one is on objectives, which kind of feeds into the other two. And Exotic French is winning on all three of those fronts right now. Neverix, Classics, just kind of holding down this bottom lane, just getting what they can. Marco, Brazil, Nickel, Toto, and Etoile making a move here to the bottom lane. Polane a little bit behind, but Neverix looking to get things going here as they do. We're watching things break down. And KO on the Cinderace by the Eldegoss. Neko doing work. Nickel, Toto to double KO for the Eldegoss. Double KO for the Eldegoss. Polane coming in here. Can the Eldegoss get a trip? Can the Eldegoss get the trips in? Let's go. That is the stiffest cotton ball you'll ever see in your life, as that Neko takes a 3-berg, just taking them to the woodshed. Teqsun can't feel good that their whole team was just mowed down by the support player on Exotic French. And if I'm Exotic French, that's something you rally around saying, holy smokes, we've got control of this game, and there's no way we can give it up now, as the Eldegoss bench pressing planets out here with that sweatband, sweating it to the oldies. That is way too late. The Eldegoss coming in with maybe the most ill-timed Unite move I've seen. Didn't hit any damage, didn't heal anybody, and didn't even get to contest the Dreadnought here. So there's 4 minutes and 28 seconds left on the clock, 17 seconds still Rotom, and Etoile just gets mowed down by Neverix, and they go ahead and take the Bs as well. Exotic French here in a very, very commanding lead. Neverix just jockeying around, keeping an eye. Now, they haven't closed anything besides the Tier 2 goal zones, and that's something I would like to see out of Exotic French here. Maybe get this Rotom and push it in, close an extra one of those goal zones. Having those 2 outer goal zones, that's a lot of points if Teqsun does, stay full pockets and take that Zapdos, and you do have to be conscious of that always being an option. Zapdos is always looming on you as the fight breaks out here. Zero goes down. What's new in the top lane? Blastoise goes down. Nico goes down. Marco's going to go down, and Etoile is getting pressured. Double KO by the Venusaur, and holy smokes, double KO by the Greninja. They are just carrying their squad. A little bit of grass, a little bit of water. They closed out that goal zone just as I thought they should. That is a 338-point lead here as Classics is coming down with Nico. That's Surf going to try and push out Classics, but good lord, just getting mowed down with Raytao, the Greninja, Clavrix, and Classics as well. Neverix just bailing. Now, the only thing, again, you want to protect this lead. You don't want to overcommit. You want to work on this Dreadnought when it comes up. However, until then, we want to level. We don't want to feed any KOs into the other team. There's not a lot of farm on the map, so let's just posture. Let's get into our positions, and let's set up for the last 3 minutes of the game. Nico backs, gets that experience here. Gets that HP bar back up, as Dreadnought's going to be pulling up here in about 8 seconds. Now Teqsun is rolling in together, which is something they haven't done yet, and I'm really hoping to see it pan dividends for that. But they get bullied immediately by Lucario, by Neverix, by the Venusaur, by Classics, with the sleep, and all of that's going down. Exotic French takes Dreadnought again. I mean, Eldegoss is the lowest leveled player on Exotic French, and they are the highest leveled player if they were on Teqsun. That's just where this game is right now. Zero Minenzia, Minezia, getting a little overzealous there, pursuing, and now Neverix and Eiklis not letting them rest for that. Nickel Toto coming in with a little bit of Surf. Neverix and Eiklis don't really care. They're framing up, they're hiding in the grass, and let's see if the jump's going to happen. Nickel Toto moved straight to Zapdos, ignoring the rest of the team. Classics coming in, and there's Neverix there to attack the Blastoise. A Unite move saves the Blastoise, and another Unite move by the Eldegoss. Marco going to make some work too. We see a lot of bloody barriers kicking on, but that's still 2 down. Finally, Neverix is down for Exotic French, but we have 3 down on Teqsun, and that Blastoise is not long for this world. Nickel Toto goes down, and it's just the Lucario standing for Teqsun, as all of Exotic French is working on that Zapdos. They take it. Another double KO for the Eldegoss. Are you kidding me? And the top lane Lucario makes it true. They weren't there for the party, but they'll hold it down at home here, as their timer was just so high and so hot from all the levels they had. They quite frankly couldn't hold it down, or they didn't even need them to hold it down. So, I mean, that is a 2-0 win here in our Group 3 of Exotic French over, make sure I'm saying this right, Exotic French over Teqsun.